Mark Darrandall.
If I may speak?
Certainly, Sir March. You come far across the seas to our kingdom, and we would like to hear why.
Chivalry is one of the cornerstones of our society. But chivalry is not a singular thing. There is no thing you can hold and say that this is chivalry. Chivalry is what happens when the path of virtue is walked, when those virtues come together. Prowess, without humility, can become tyranny through power. Humility without faith can become despair. When these virtues come together, they create something that is greater than the sum of their parts. When you walk this path, you can become something greater than you are. Countess Eva has walked this path with all her heart, and she has forged herself into something greater than she was. And although she has served in many ways, in this new station that she would inhabit, she will serve something greater than she is. And so I ask of you to call her forth and let her assume this new role so that she may serve you as she has up until this point.
These are words of wisdom indeed, Duke Mark, and our minds are as one. We call forth Eva von Danzig.
Let all members of the Order of Chivalry here present come and kneel before their majesties.
There is a spokesperson from the peers and populace about this candidate, and we call her forth now.
Your Majesty, my apologies. Be a moment to make way amongst this plethora of knights.
She must part the Red Sea.
I am Mistress Sabine de Bourbonnais, and I am the fortunate laurel to this young woman. It is my great pleasure to speak to you today on her behalf and on behalf of all peers here present. As most of you know, from Anyala to the Crescent Isles, from the northern reaches to Innisfree, Eva has excelled herself in prowess and her technical skill on the field. Well, what I'm mostly told about her fighting is that she brings a real passion to her fighting that many find inspiring. She has an enthusiasm that drags everybody along. She inspires others to keep picking themselves up and keep fighting long after they should have gone off to dinner, or they should be informed. Yes, they should be. Her enthusiasm and her passion for her fighting is on display everywhere she travels. and at every event where she picks up her sword. Not only is she a wonderful fighter who has shown these beautiful skills, she has also served this kingdom very ably as a leader. She used her very good judgment and was exercised and comported herself with grace and courtesy everywhere she went. She's a much beloved queen of this country, and she continues to serve as countess. We also see her continuing her service now as Baroness of Lochac. And by all accounts from her people down there, she's looking after Your Majesty's lands very ably, doing a wonderful job, representing the crown very well. She runs many events and does a great deal of work in Lochac for Your Majesties. Now we return to her skill as an artisan, because being a knight is about more than just being skilled with the sword. I would like to tell you that this is the most talented apprentice that you see before you. And we have had a long-standing relationship that has gone on nigh 7 years now. I would also like to tell you that she is the most, that's the word I'm looking for. It's perhaps negligent apprentice. When she comes to visit with me, we spend many hours talking about fighting. I bring out my books to enthuse and inspire her, and we talk about fighting. I produce projects to discuss, and there's more fighting. I would like to think that Eva probably may have aspired to the laurel long before now, but her primary passion has always been the sword. It is my greatest pleasure to stand here on behalf of all the peers of Lochac and let you all know that we consider her our peer.
Eva, you have sat vigil for half a year and have received much wisdom and advice from the peers and populace of Lochac. Mindful of your prowess on the field and the wishes of this order of chivalry, we are minded to admit you into the order. Is it still your wish to receive this honour from our hand?
It is.
Will you swear an oath of perpetual fealty to this our crown and kingdom? Do you hold an oath of fealty as a squire to any member of our order?
I do, Your Majesties. Thank you so much.
Not been a long relationship formally, but from the moment I met you, I knew you were someone amazing, and whatever part I've been able to help on your journey, I'm so proud and so humbled and grateful for being part of it. And it is with utter joy that I ask for that belt back so that you can move on to this new position.
Thank you so much for being this. Assistance. And sometimes a shoulder. Countess Eva, a knight must swear fealty. For this moment forth shall be the defence and justice of this kingdom. Your deeds will reflect on the kingdom and the crown will respect your honest counsel. Do you vow to treat all with courtesy and to uphold the laws and traditions of our kingdom? I do so.
You have sworn fealty to us before as a member of the royal peerage. Will you now swear fealty as a knight of our realm?
Which sword do you wish to swear your fealty? If it please your Majesty, I would swear fealty on the sword of state.
fealty must be sworn on a sword of steel.
Here do I swear by mouth and hand, fealty and service to the crown and kingdom of Lochac. To bear only honesty and practice temperance in all things. To serve justice without bias and defend the helpless. To act with generosity and nurture any who would seek the path of chivalry. To lead in arms in times of war and in service in times of peace. I furthermore swear that I shall reflect upon the beginnings of chivalry, so that I may honor those who have come before and serve as humble inspiration for those yet to come. From this hour henceforth, until the king depart his throne, death take me, or judgment come. So say I, Eva von Danzig.
We hear your word, Eva, and we return them. With your fealty with love, your valor with honor, and oath-breaking with justice. And we for our part do swear fealty to you, and to your household, and to your most noble order, until we depart from our throne, death take us, or the world end. So say we, Lochac. Let her be robed as befits a knight of her estate. Is there a chain? Is there a chain?
Your Majesty, there is. May I speak of it briefly?
Yes, please do.
I apologize for talking so much today.
Not at all.
Several times, Eva and I have talked about the weight of expectations and the weight of feeling like you needed to live up to what other people saw in you. And I told her that people did not mean put expectations upon her, that they were merely excited to be part of her journey because they saw something special in her. What I never told her is that I was one of those people. When she first came to the West, I fought with her, and as soon as I met her, I knew that she was someone of quality, and I had this chain that had been made by the hand of Duke Fabian of the West. And he had passed that on to Duke Connor. And Connor had passed this on to me, and it was one of my very prized possessions. And the first time I met and fought with Eva, I took Felix aside and said, I would be so presumptuous, but I'm going to do it anyway and ask that when this fine fighter gets knighted, I would love to be able to pass this chain on to her. And I've held it in trust knowing this day was coming. And I'm so pleased with it.
Very fine chain. Now Eva, this chain of fealty binds you to the crown and to the kingdom. You'll find that its weight is significant and it is representative of the burden that the crown and the peerage share in its duty to the people. Oh yeah, that looks good. I'm not taking that back.
The belt of white symbolizes purity, and a knight must strive to remain untainted by misdeeds and falsehoods. In order to serve the kingdom as a symbol of humility and grace, is there a belt?
There is a Majesty.
Does it have a history?
It has a brief one. My knight is Crown Prince Habat of the West, Duke Bender. Eva sought us both out and had asked for the belt from him and from myself. And so we purchased this belt together, and he wore it and knelt on it a lot. This belt, like him, is not a short and dainty thing. In fact, I think that might be his exact height. And I have worn it because you asked for this token from my hands as well. And so that you might remember us, should your memory fail you. Your Majesty, you did my honor.
Sir Felix. It's tradition in our kingdom, and of many others besides, that the consort of the candidate is the one to gird upon our newly minted knight. We ask you to carry out this office.
Wear this belt, so that you may be surrounded by purity and truth. Never allow it to become stained or worn. From this moment henceforth. A knight is adorned with spurs. As a reminder that he may remove all covetous riches from his heart. Are there spurs?
Please, Your Majesties, there are.
Can both of you tell us the history of these spurs?
Your Majesty, the spur is mine and mine alone. It has come from across the seas in the Great Penzig War. It's been a great pleasure of mine to be Eva's friend and to be a small part of the journey that has brought her here today. I am very happy that she passed me from the spur, and I give it to her gladly.
In similar fashion, this spur is of limited history. It was new unto me upon my elevation, and it is but a token of the aspect of knighthood that it represents. It is my greatest pleasure that Eva has humbled me so by asking to receive it from me, and I offer it gladly in and with thanks that you have honoured me so in this fashion. Thank you.
Gentlemen, please attach the spurs to her heels. You are...
May these spurs rest upon your feet, guiding your steps upon the path of chivalry, which your brothers have travelled before you. May they remind you of the path before you and from where you have come.
Finally, a swordsman is in need of the sword, because as the knight is the extension of the arm of the kingdom to mete out its justice, so must that arm itself hold a weapon by which it can be as precise as it needs to be, and no more.
Your Majesty, this is a sword that comes with much love from your friends in the company of Sir Michael and Baron Guard. Its history starts now, and I know that they're very
Now that you are properly adorned and have heard the meaning of these symbols, we ask you one last time, is it still your wish that you should join this noble order from our hand?
It is, Your Majesties.
By which sword would you wish to be dubbed?
On the sword of my house, House von Danzig.
I won't say it's a better blade than the sword of state, for I must not.
I think they get the point.
Be generous and nurture your kingdom in words and deeds. Defend the innocent and be ever ready to administer the crown's justice. Be ever mindful of your vows. I dub thee Knight. Bow your head. Know now that you are made a knight, but you must succor the defenseless, seek justice for those of every station, and maintain the honour of knighthood. Remain humble in victory and courageous in defeat. Knighthood shall bring you pain as well as honour. May this blow remind you of your duty. Rise, Sir Eva.
To bear arms by letter patent, to wit, per band sinister, Rayoni, Gules and Ermine, 2 squirrels respect and counterchanged, by our word and hand, this 4th day of April, Anusazitatis 49, Kingerai, Rex, Altani, Regina, Führte Ritter Eva, neuester Ritter im Königreich Lochac, hep hep! Hep, von Danzig!
That was a recipe for disaster, isn't it? Yeah, this is going to go well.
Now, go, all ye good knights of Lochac, and serve the kingdom. Greet with the populace, and know how you further the aims of our kingdom and our society. Thank you.
For I got to fighting, more than fighting cost to me. I looked to find examples on the field of chivalry. I saw mighty arms much stronger than my arms would ever be. And I thought perhaps the field was not for me. But I stayed and watched the fighting till one fierce stood apart. In armory fashion, and a helm more fought than ours. But he flowed so with honor, and a lightness of the heart. And his Lord became a star. She was not the biggest fighter, nor one to raise a fuss, but I remember being proud that she was one of us.
she'll walk side by side. But because of her, I lift my sword with pride.
In final words, I would like to say something about our new knight, and that is this. Up in this ceremony, you have seen the knights of our kingdom arrayed and yet strangely free from emotion. And that is because when we make a knight, we consider them the peer of every knight. And so, while Eva may be the first female knight in the kingdom, for the order of chivalry, she is a knight like all of its other members, every single one. That is the way we vote in the council, and that is the way we take our council as the crown, and the way we advise the crown every single time. Every single time, every knight we make is considered the peer of every other. So when you say that it is a special day for the kingdom, it certainly is. It certainly is. But remember that this knight is the equal of all of our knights. She is never to be considered the lesser of any of our, well, heretofore brethren. Have to work out how to turn that down. No, certainly not. We thank you, and that is all the business that we have the stability to conduct in this court. And so I thank you for being witnesses with us to this ceremony, and I ask that you go forth and be on your way with joy in your hearts for this and all our knights and all our laurels and all our pelicans who serve our kingdom. Thank you.
There being no further business, all rise. Long live the king!
Long live the king!
Long live the queen!
Long live the queen!
For all the Kingdom of Lochac, 3 cheers, hip hip!